what Black feminist concerns were raised in this week's reading. We've talked about a lot of them already.
Not a concern, but the thing that impressed me so much was how fast and how broad the NACW grew.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when you start talking about 50,000 women, that's a lot of women.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of women today. Much less then, when there's no cell phone, there's no texting, and you've got all these women signed up. I just thought that was so empowering. And then they said that there was 50,000 women, 1,000 federations, was it, of it?
Mm-hmm. 1,000 clubs.
Yeah. 1,000 clubs. That was just like, y'all go right ahead. Go right ahead. Mm-hmm. I was impressed with that. I was impressed with this whole chapter.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Venita?
I was very impressed with the chapter. One thing, some things that did stand out is compared to today, we still are striving for morality. You know, whereas white women, that was not one of the fights they were fighting. You know, we still had that on top of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And today, which really saddens me, once again, it has not changed. We're still fighting for morality on top of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we had more time. There's just so much in this chapter. We might have to go through this again when everyone's here. There were so many issues that we were dealing with, educational issues that we're still dealing with today, trying to uplift the children. These women's work, I don't even know how there was enough time in the day. And I did notice that women were getting married later, 28, 31, 29, which was late for them. Now women are getting married that have careers, a lot of in their late 30s and having their first child when they're 42. But they're not, but a lot of the women aren't activists. You know what I mean? Like, where was, these women had, I don't even know how they did it. I'm still in awe. I really am. How they managed to do what they did. Keep their minds in the process. I heard of no one losing their heads. They you know, somebody, they just had it tight. I'm just amazed by it. I am. And Michelle and I were talking too, but I feel shame. Like, what do I do? What am I doing with my time?
Right.
I mean, I don't have a right to complain about anything, Kim. You know, it's like, you know, it's like, you feel shame. It's like, what happened? Where we don't, I don't know, what happened to that drive? I'm sure there are many women out there now in our daily lives, like you're raising your daughter, you do a fabulous job, and you're focusing on getting her where she needs to go and helping her to grow into a real person, you know, and that's a job. But it's just like, I don't know, it doesn't seem like we have that. Nothing tired those women out. Not even Booker T.
And he could do it.
And he could do it. So, yeah. I'm still in awe.
Okay. Well, we've actually kind of really gone through the things that I had pointed out. There's a lot in that chapter, though. But, you know, one of the key things was I thought the decision to not have children at one point, of those droves of women that were going into education, you know, a lot of them decided not to have children because they wanted to focus on their careers, you know, and understanding the importance of the role inside the home, they didn't want to give that short shrift. So, you know, they just elected not to have children. So I thought that was pretty amazing. And actually last week I mentioned the business about women going into teaching as a way of escaping the white man's lecherous advances. But that actually comes up in this chapter. I must have been reading ahead again. So that's that. And I just want to leave you all once again. I think I read this quote earlier, Venita. You may not have been here, but I want to read it again and leave it as a part of this section. And it's from Anna Julia Cooper. Women were not compelled to look to sexual love as the one sensation capable of giving tone and relish, movement and vim to the life she leads. Her horizon is extended. And, you know, and I just love that quote. And so from a feminist perspective, you know, they had this belief going on about self-actualization. And to me, that's a big part of what feminism is. If you know, if we believe in equality of the races, equality of the sexes, you know, equality, then we believe that we all have a right to kind of figure out who we are, who we want to be in this world, and to pursue that path without any barriers imposed by what other people think we should be or believe we are. So these women were doing it, you know, they were saying, this is who I am. And that was pretty hot.
Yes, it was. Actually, 3/4 of the women did not have children. Yeah, a lot were married, but they didn't have children, which I thought was huge to know that. You know, I really don't need to have children if I know that this is what my focus is, because usually it's going to be the children that are neglected in the process. These women really had together. Really had together. So many things in here. It's just amazing. Oh, there's another one. Josephine Turbin Washington cautioned that the true woman takes her place by the side of the man as his companion, his co-worker, his helpmate, his equal, but she never forgets that she is a woman, not a man. So you don't have to slay him. Well, now.
I think the question that comes to mind is the difference between the sisters from the 1970s to the sisters today.
Oh yeah.
So that as soon as you said slay 'em, I was like, oh yeah. It's like we're using that same sexuality that's the power, and that's not the power.
Yes, Michelle and I were talking about that. Yes, we were, Kim. It's a replay of the 70s. A replay of the 70s.
Yeah. I'm gonna take him to what's it?
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster. I was gonna say Kentucky Fried Chicken. I got like a Lord guy.
You got chicken on mine.
You know, this meeting is wonderful. Having gone to the medical apartheid meetings.
Yeah.
This is a big difference.
Yeah.
It is a big difference. But that was good reading.
Yeah,
hard reading, but good reading.
Yeah,
but there is some there's a lace to the two of them. That when you look at all the pain and all of the physical and that pain, you got to bring that back into this discussion too.
You have to.
You know,
it's all tied together.
It's all tied together. That not being protected, not being safe. How you going to be in a relationship? How you going to be a husband and a wife when there's no safety to you? There's no safety.
Right. And so these women that decided not to have children, you know, there was a lot going into that decision.
Certainly was.
You know.
I was also amazed by the skin bleaching. That was brought up, and I was like, really? What year was this? You know, even then, black women were made to feel less than, so they were trying to feel, I don't know what they thought they were trying to feel. I mean, skin bleaching back then?
Yeah, well, you know, this was the, let me see if I can find it real quick. This was the era of Madam C.J. Walker. And I don't know if she sold a skin bleaching product.
Right.
But, you know, she certainly was on the hair straightening.
Well, yeah.
Let me see. She died in C.J. Walker was born in 1867 and died in 1919. You know, so she was all up in there.
Yeah. I mean, I can see the hair straightening. But when you said skin lightening products, and in 2016, we are dealing with skin lightening, bleaching products that's destroying women.
Well, you know, it's interesting because Kim brings up medical apartheid and the sort of overlaps. It reminds me of what Harriet Washington was saying in that very last chapter, that some of the medical experimentation, the conditions that are happening in Africa and third world countries are what African Americans were dealing with 100 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
There's something else. It's really kind of sad. It's very sad, actually.
I just find it all so slippery that, you know, we're talking about lacing together the woman and the race and those two, holding those two spaces. But then when you bring in the medical apartheid while you holding those two spaces,
yes.
And I'm sure there are other books like when you were talking about the dark end of the street and all these other things. It's amazing that, you know, we are emotionally still capable of getting up and taking care of ourselves.
But we're not.
But yeah, I was about to say, I'm not so sure that we really are.
Not.
I mean,
I'm not saying we're thriving. I'm definitely not saying that we're thriving or doing well. But we do manage to put one foot in front of the other.
Some of us.
Yeah. I'll say that.
And some of us are slipping real quick every day.
Yes.
More of us are slipping because the burden is too much. You know, and then down comes the woman, down comes the children, down comes
everybody.
You know, and you only can carry it for so long. And believe me, the strong as black women are, it's not by choice. They just cannot take it. They can't do it. And the body just gives out. The mind goes. You know, and it's happening more and more, especially in the economic world that we live in, the unstableness. You know.
And even if you like think about what Kim was saying a little while ago about how this chapter brings out how black men were not protecting black women, and what I'd say to that, Kim, is yeah, in some cases it was because of the fear of being lynched, but in other cases that really wasn't the issue. You know, there was the internalized racism and the internalized sexism going on, because she was also talking about how black men themselves were treating black women. You know, I think it was Ida B. Wells that said some of them, you know, ain't worth the, the dirt, you know, they're standing on, you know.
Yeah.
And so if you think about that, and then I lost my thought. I had a connection to medical apartheid. What's the last thing you said, Venita? Do you remember?
Well, I think I'm going to the first stage of Alzheimer's too. I forgot what
I was good. This is it. I was gonna say, and if you think about that, how black men were not being protective of black women in the 1900s, and then think about what Nicole was saying to us a few weeks ago in the conversation on Beyonce about black women seeing Beyonce's behavior, or this third wave feminist, seeing this need to protect our own bodies, you know, and that's where some of this machismo is coming from in the women's behavior, because if nobody's going to protect us, now, you know, that is not me agreeing with anything about Beyonce. I'm just saying, hold those two thoughts together for a minute, and, you know, it kind of says something.
It does. And hopefully I won't live till I'm 100.
Why not, Venita?
You know, don't try to keep me here with you, Michelle. You either can.
I'm not going to be around here that long, and you can't shoot.
I'm not trying to do all that. It's good.
Venita knows I'm going to turn 57 at the end of this year, Kim. My dad died when he was 57, so I feel like I'm tiptoeing.
No. Different eras.
Yeah.
Different eras. You know, when you die, nobody's gonna come dig you up, so you might as well just stay here.
You know what I'm saying, Cal?
Yeah.
I told her she's not going nowhere fast. She's gonna leave me here by myself. Oh no, I don't think so. She wouldn't be her luck. Don't even worry about it. You'll be at you 95. And we'll be sitting here all together.
Oh God, I posted a picture today of a woman that was 117 years old.
Oh, that's just crazy.
That was the woman with the little girl?
No, I think she's in it by herself.
117. Kim?
Yeah.
You have to tell your daughter to hit me in the head with something. If I'm here at 100, I'll pay you. I'll give a gift. Just tell her to take something, clunk me in the head. But don't let me walk around here for 117 years. I don't care what it is. Let me stay down for 117 years. Okay, she's gonna be my savior. She's gonna be my Dr. Gavorkian. Tell her.
She will do it too. She said to me the other day, we were talking about spreading my ashes because I want to be cremated, and she said, "Now look at here. As long as I don't have to get on no airplane and travel too far with this ashes."
Oh, you know what I'm saying? So, this generation, we don't have to worry about dying. They're gonna kill us.
Yeah.
And after the same thing, I want to be cremated. And then the same thing, my son's looking like, all right, so when you going in the backyard with your flowers, you know, because they ain't trying to go nowhere. Don't get no special places where you want to be because you're never going to get there.
That's it.
They don't play with us, Kim. They're not playing with us, Kim. They are not playing with us.
We will see you all next week reading our story together.